All right, Coach Luke VanderLeest from Sioux Falls Christian joining me today. Coach, we're on the eve of cross country getting ready to start, and I just wanted to hear some thoughts on your optimism going into the season.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's exciting to be back, right? Probably like a lot of programs, put a lot of miles in over the summer months, and I think everybody's just eager to get to that first meet and see if it's all paying off, you know. And so I'm really excited. We got like 85 kids on our roster this year between boys and girls, and so lots of new names to learn and new kids to get to know, and lots of excitement in the air.
Listen, I would be remiss if I didn't go back to the state track meet a little bit last year. Man, I'll tell you, Custer put together quite an effort and scrapped and got all those points. You guys came back, Bennett Wassner in the mile relay.
Mhm.
It was really impressive. Like you guys had to dig deep last year. It wasn't an easy title, and I'm sure all the
No,
coaches you had and got involved, and it was awesome.
yeah, we graduated so many talented kids the last couple of years, and we knew we had a bunch of talented individuals. We just didn't know, how many points we were going to be to squeak together. And thankfully we scored a lot of points in the throws, which that's historically hasn't been our strong point. But when you got a guy like Paul Hookman and a few other fellas that can heave things, that was fun. And yeah, you talk about that mile relay. Man, I go back and watch that recording every once in a while, and I still get goosebumps every time. I know how it turns out, and I still just get fired up. It was pretty exciting. So yeah,
How do
thanks
you
for
feel
bringing
like
that up.
how do you feel like Bennett Wassner? I thought he had a phenomenal state track meet, and I think it was like 13th at the cross country meet last year. How is that success at state track kind of push him forward this year in cross country?
It's interesting you bring that up. Uh, his success in the state track meet, has brought him to the realization that he thinks an 800 is all the farther he ever wants to run in his life. And so he's not running cross
Oh,
country this fall. So kind of a bummer for me, bummer for our program, but he is trying to get just quicker and stronger and really wants to focus on the 400 and the 800. He's a basketball player also,
yeah.
and working a part-time job and trying to save up for college and all those things. And so, unfortunately, he's not gonna run cross country this fall.
Well, I pulled up a picture this morning. I can't quite share it. It's me and Levi Vanderleest a couple years ago at the state track meet.
Oh,
How's Levi doing? He had a great year as a freshman and seems like a
mhm.
really accomplished runner. What's he looking like?
Yeah, he had a nice summer too. He's a sophomore now, and he's grown a lot. He's grown 7 inches since the start of last school year, and he looks me in the eye now.
Oh, nice.
And so he's not just this little puny freshman anymore. And yeah, I'm excited to see what comes with it. He ran a really nice little 5K on the road this summer at my hometown 4th of July celebration, and we'll find out Friday morning. He'll get to go head to head with you know a really talented field. Jack Brown from Dakota Valley will be there, and Jonathan Roth from West Central, and
Nice.
there's a really good runner from Laverne, Minnesota that went like 15:50 last year. And so yeah, we'll find out. But he's healthy and eager to get going. So yeah.
How do you feel like you guys will shape up in the team race? I know Hill City was just fantastic last year. They graduated their top two runners, but Tate Grabow is back. And they've got one other
Mhm.
return that was like 13th or so, 12th. Um,
Yep.
how do you feel like the team race for boys is going to go this year?
Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting. I feel like maybe a little bit like last spring on the track. I think it could be kind of wide open. Um, yeah, I mean, obviously Hill City's a team that I got my eye on with Grabo and Escalante.
Galante, yeah.
Um, they, yeah, I don't know what they have after that. They kind of dropped off after their top four last year, but it just takes a kid who grows 7 inches over a summer or whatever, and figures out the training to have a really good team. I think Vermilion is going to be good. I think Linux is going to be
Yeah.
good. Um, and we'll get to see both those teams on Friday already, and so we'll see a lot of those guys. But I I kind of pick Hill City, Vermilion, Lennox, and our team, Sioux Falls Christian, I would kind of say we're maybe the preseason, and in my opinion, the top squads. We got 5 boys on our team that all ran under 10:20 in the 2 mile last year on the track,
Nice.
um, and that's without Bennett. And so I feel like we have some depth, we got some experience, and yeah, I think that we'll be good, but I don't know if we'll be good enough.
I feel like the individual race is going to be wide open too. Miller's Pierce Bomberger is the top return.
Mhm.
He went under 16 at the state meet. He had some leg troubles in track and wasn't up to snuff. But I
Yeah.
think the individual race is wide open too. There's a number of guys that could get up there and grab that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you mentioned Tate Grabo from Hill City. I expect him to have a good year. Jack Brown from Dakota Valley, Sean Ship from Custer.
Buster.
He came on really strong in the track season. I feel like he's going to be good. Um, I think Levi VanderLeest from our team could be in the mix. We got another senior boy, Josh Fletcher. He's battled some injuries throughout high school, but he's had a really good summer, and I think he could be right in the mix. Jackson Prinz, another one of our runners, he went like 10 flat in the 2 mile last year, and uh, he's had a great summer and is looking really strong. And so yeah, it's going to be fun. I just can't wait for it all to get started.
So I'm thinking about the girls, and you guys have been so dominant over the years. I wanted to ask about Ellie Maddox
Hmm.
because she had a little off year in cross country last year, was injured. I felt like
Yep.
she came back in track last year and had a great season. And I'm wondering how that's kind of translating into this year. She's a former state champion, so
Yeah, yeah. It was just 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I guess now, when she was an eighth grader. Yeah, she's a state champion. Um, and then her freshman year, I think she got like maybe 12th or 13th at the state meet, um, and was dealing with some shin issues. And then last year she had the torn labrum in her hip, and so
yeah.
she had surgery right after the state cross country meet last year, and kind of had that rehab and came back for a really good track season, like you said. Interestingly, after the state track meet, she went down, got invited to run a race down in Nebraska somewhere, and she ran a 4:57 in the 1600. And so, that's pretty exciting. Anytime you get somebody to break 5 minutes in a mile is a big accomplishment. And so, yeah, she hit that and took a little break, and her summer training's been great. I
Yeah.
mean, I expect her to be. I mean, the Class A is going to be so fun when you got Bloker and Faith Weiss back, but I think Ellie Maddox will definitely mix it up with them. And then shoot, you got Natalie Smith, who was state runner up 2 years ago. Um, she's looking great. She's had a good summer. Then we got this little freshman girl, Sadie Pettengill,
Yeah.
who ran like a 5:09 mile last year as an eighth grader. Jerica Glasser, who's like, a 5:15 miler. She got fifth at the state track cross country meet last year.
Right.
So I feel like I got 4 girls that maybe they could all be in the top 5 or 6. And I don't know that they'll do that, but they certainly have the talent to really mix it up.
I wanted to ask you about the state of Class A girls running because I don't know. I was thinking in my head mentally, Lottie Grimshaw from Todd County is a former state cross country champion. And I believe like she placed fourth in the mile 10, 15 years ago. I can't remember, but she ran like a
Mhm.
5:30.
Yeah,
Um, 5:30 isn't even going to get you to the state meet anymore. And I
no,
can't believe how many girls ran under 5:10 last year in class. It's really amazing to see the talent
yeah,
out.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I just mentioned Natalie Smith. She ran a 5:11 mile, and we couldn't even run her at state because she was number 4 on our team. I mean, we graduated Corinne Brown, of
Yeah.
course, and so Natalie's gonna slide right in. But yeah, that's just on one team, and then you throw in, man, there's so many talented kids in Class A right now. Yeah, it'll be really fun. You think about Ashlyn Batchelor from Millbank, Sophia Redler from Dakota Valley, uh, the Nisham girl from
Park Willow Lake.
Mark Willow Lake. I mean, yeah, there's so many good runners right now.
Who are some other teams that I feel like we should watch? Felt like Vermilion was pretty good last year. Sioux
Yep.
Valley, with Bloker,
Yeah.
they have a bunch of return. What's on your mind for some teams that are going to be right up there?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Sioux Valley had a young team last year. I mean, it was Isabel Bloker, and then I think a seventh grader and a couple ninth graders maybe with her. I expect them to be good. Vermilion will be good. Dakota Valley will be good. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good pulse on like Custer and Hill City. Historically, they've got great programs. They're very well coached. Um, I think Chamberlain, they've had a really good run, but I think they graduated a couple of their studs. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure where they're going to be, but yeah.
I just one final question, and I wanted to ask you, like, in my mind, I'm mentally thinking about the Augie Twilight meet. Um, and I've never been, and I won't be in attendance this year. But like, what kind of what does that do for cross country? Because it feels like it's just such a great event. It's a spectator friendly event and a
Mhm.
big event where a lot of kids come, and it's a huge early season test. Just give me some thoughts
Yeah.
on Augie Twilight meet.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable for people who've never been to a cross country meet. They show up at that, and I've heard it described as it's a dance party with a cross country race going on. I mean, they got a live DJ and they got food trucks, and then you got all the crazy college kids running around with their shirts off, and they've got their chest painted. You think you're at a college football game, but it's for cross country, and
Yeah.
um, it. So for one, it's great for our sport because it's fun, it's festive. Like you said, it's a spectator friendly course. The competition's always dynamite. We love it. You get people from out of state. There's no classification, so it's class B, class A, class double A. We're all thrown in there together. Um, the course is fast and flat.
Yep.
You know, Typically we have a couple of kids that end up with only one shoe on because you get stepped on and you get spiked. And I remember Isaac Davila ran. He got third place a few years ago, and he finished with one shoe in his hand and one shoe on his feet. And so and that happens every year, and you kind of have to learn to deal with a crowd. Oftentimes us distance runners, we love just being able to be alone in our thoughts, and you kind of hear the rhythm of your breathing, and that you don't get that at Augie. I mean, it's just it's chaos the whole way. You're always around people, and there's always crowd cheering for you. And so the thing I try to coach my kids up with on that meet is you got to find that happy spot in your mind, because like you can't stay amped up for a 5K. You're going to run out of juice.
Yeah.
You got to figure out a way to get your heart rate settled down, just kind of take it all in, and remember you're just racing. And so, but it's great. It's such a great atmosphere. We can't wait for it.
Well, Coach, I'm going to let you go. I super appreciate you and always love visiting with you. I will
Yeah.
be at the state cross country meet, and
Good.
I'll be rooting and cheering and interviewing kids and all over the place.
Good.
I'm already amped up for it. So thank you very much, Coach.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for supporting our sport that we all love so much. Appreciate you.